Jim Bays, a 66-year-old resident who relocated from Washington to Texas, found himself grappling with loneliness in his new surroundings. The prospect of spending Christmas alone seemed daunting, prompting him to devise an exceptionally inventive solution. The lonely man in question, Jim Bays, moved from Washington to Texas in June of 2021. Here he offered his services as a contractor, something he was so good at that he had his own company. While business was good, 66-year-old Jim's love life wasn't blossoming in the same way. He's extremely busy with work, so he spends most of the day away from home. The few hours that he is home each day are pretty lonely, unfortunately. With Christmas right around the corner, Jim decided to change things up. He did this as a very creative way. The fact that Jim is lonely now doesn't mean that this has always been the case. The 66-year-old contractor was married twice and has 5 kids. Jim's second marriage, which lasted 19 years, didn't stay afloat due to the fact that Jim couldn't put his wife before his work. The two grew apart because they rarely even saw each other. Jim's first marriage didn't work because they were two birds of a feather. They were both extremely stubborn, which meant the smallest details could end in big arguments. Jim admits he's not the most laid-back guy. Now Jim is looking for someone that can accept him for his personality and his work. He accomplishes this in a special way. This isn't the first attempt Jim has made. Since moving to Texas, he's made numerous attempts at setting up dates using dating apps and websites. With little success, unfortunately. Jim says he doesn't have the natural feeling for strategy when it comes to online dating. And offline dating? It's not like when you were in high school and it's easy to meet somebody, Bays says. How do you meet somebody that's on the same page? Thankfully, this bachelor was able to think up a fresh and clever way of grabbing the attention of single women in his area. The 66-year-old bachelor decided to go big with it. He's always busy at work and doesn't have time to constantly be on the hunt. Let them come to me, he must have thought. Not to say Jim is picky, but he has a clear image of his ideal woman. The candidate would need to be loving and kind, supportive of his work, able to forgive him when he makes mistakes, and be understanding of what the stress he gets at work can do to him. Somebody that has a shoulder where I can just lay my head down or a lap that I can lay my head down, Bays said. Somebody who says, "Don't worry, you're going to get through this. It'll be fine." I'd love to find somebody like that. Jim didn't make a social media post, didn't jump on any dating sites, and didn't put an ad in the newspaper. And he didn't go to speed dating events or any other gatherings to meet singles. Nope, the 66-year-old workaholic didn't have time for all that. Instead, he went big. The idea came to him during his drive to a project. A large ad caught his eye. Hey, Jim thought, if only I could catch someone's eye like that. He immediately called an advertising company and asked about all the possibilities. He couldn't care less about the price. The results he was expecting would be more than worth it. Jim drove by full of pride. There it was, a gigantic billboard with his face on it. Wanted, a good woman, it read in big letters way up high, 50-55-ish, for talks and walks and mutual acts of kindness, with his phone number beneath. Thousands of people would see Jim's ad on the daily. There must be a good woman amongst them. And all he had to do was wait on her to call. This couldn't possibly go wrong, John thought. The billboard had more success than Jim could have ever hoped. There was more than just one interested candidate. Tens of good women contacted the high-demand bachelor, meaning he had to make some decisions. Based on their calls, he decided whether or not to ask them out on a date. Within its inaugural month of being up, the billboard managed to secure Jim 5 potential dates, marking a level of success previously unattainable in his love life over the years. His innovative self-promotion was yielding promising results, and it appeared that Jim might no longer have to endure loneliness. These 5 distinct dates in November presented him with 5 different options for potential Christmas companions. With any luck, a strong connection would develop between Jim and one of these women, allowing them to savor a romantic Christmas dinner together.